smoke when we all celebrate success. So now we
Hey guys, I've had a very busy weekend. I'm still not finished, but I got a major boost to the project yesterday. You see, we've started on the soundproofing finally. Decided to do it myself and not drag the car to a sound shop. I've never worked with soundproofing before, so it was a really educational process. There's still an absolute ton left here in the wheel well. I got a whole bulk pack here. So the reason we couldn't finish is, well, there's two reasons. Firstly, there's this soundproofing that the panel beat is stuck in here that this soundproofing is unable to stick to. So what I'm going to have to do is take a heat gun and a paint scraper and lift all of this bitumen out, which is a bit of a bugger, because I was hoping I could just stick this stuff on top of this stuff, but this stuff will not stick. I don't know what this surface is impregnated with, but this glue does not bind at all. You put the panel down, give it a slight tug, and the whole thing lifts up. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is this paint. Whatever this is, I don't know, it did bind here on this. Let's give it a bit of a tug and see. Yeah, it bound here in these footwells, but it's not binding on any of these surfaces, which creates a bit of an irritation. So what I'm going to do is twofold. I'm going to have to either and I really don't want to do this, but I have a feeling I'm going to be forced to. I either need to rough this up, the surface, with some sandpaper, just scuff it up a bit, and then see if it'll stick. So I'll use some offcuts from in the wheel well. Or I'm going to have to sit with primer. I'm going to have to mask off sections of the car I don't want to get overspray, like these step sills and things. And yeah, I'm going to have to spray this with like some kind of oxide primer and see if it'll bind to the primer on top of this stuff. So that's one of those things that it would have been better if initially, and I'll stick a little image in the corner here, initially the whole car was just red inside. It would have been better if we'd left it like that, because this stuff sticks down to this red paint, no problem. And I know in the factory, this is how the stuff looks, because obviously they use this stuff, and this stuff seems to stick to anything. So yeah, look, it is what it is. I need to peel all this out, so I'm going to start that tomorrow night, and we'll do the driver and the passenger side footwells, and then the firewall, and then whatever's left over, I need to do the tunnel for the exhaust and the gear linkages, and then I need to do these sills here on the inside, both sides. So look, I mean, we have done probably about 90% of the vehicle, and it really does, it makes a huge difference. I mean, that's nice and solid. Nice and solid. Let's check the roof out. So yeah, there's nothing up here. So yeah, so the benefits of this, I'm hoping, will be twofold. Obviously reduced road noise and sound infiltration, considerably less vibration, and it will add a bit of a thermal sort of insulation layer as well, so the car will be cooler in summer and hopefully a little bit warmer in winter, and that'll make the rudimentary heater that it has function a whole lot better. So one of the things I want to do also tomorrow night, although this is my primary focus probably for the rest of the week, is peeling all this stuff off and putting the soundproofing in. But what I would like to do, I want to screw in these tail lights and start running the wiring harness, because I need to get the wiring harness from the tail lights, and I'm going to roll it back through into the engine bay, I need to finish this up as well. This will probably be the weekend, but I know I keep saying that. But we're gonna put the taillights in, roll out the wiring harness, and the reason why I want to do that is because I want to see where everything is going to go. And yeah, once the wiring harness and the soundproofing is done, the car is actually ready to go off to the upholsterer. However, I do need to fix that first. So there's a few things that priorities have now shifted around. This will be priority 1, floor pan firewall. Priority 2, before I put the soundproofing there, so I need to get that fixed, and the new bit welded in, get the handbrake working again. Then the car is going to go off to the upholsterer for the carpet and the roof lining, door cards and all the rest of it. On the way back, I can drop the windscreen in, front and rear, and see if they can sort me out with these quarter windows. I have a bit of time before it's going off to the upholsterer, so I can start doing the rubbers at some point. You'll see I have started tidying up this garage a little bit. That sucker needs to go on the wall. I need to get my new workbenches and stuff in. I'll see if I can't borrow a van and get that stuff from Ardendorf's. And then yeah, a lot of that stuff, I mean practically all of that rubber is going to disappear into the vehicle as part of this big push. Because once all the cosmetic stuff is done here on the inside, we can start working, really focusing on getting the gearbox, engine, this drivetrain, all of that stuff into the vehicle. So I would like to push as hard as I can for the next couple of days. I may start roping in people to help, just to speed things up. And yeah, no, I'm really impressed. I'm really happy with the outcome. I need to screw that panel down. This is access to the fuel tank, fuel sender, and the fuel pump in there. Now there's actually a grommet here, which is now covered with the soundproofing. I need to just poke a hole through there, and that's for the ground wire. And there's also somewhere here there was a screw here, there. So I need to take that out, rub this down flat, and put the screw through on top. That was also for ground, so what I should probably do is put a loop on there and have a piece of wire, because I think that's the ground for this, for the fuel pump. No man, this is the fuel gauge, sorry, this carburetor guy. This is the fuel gauge for the cluster. Fuel pump. Golf's never had a submersible fuel pump, it's always been an external one. Now, I cleaned this up. This is the original color of the vehicle. This sandalwood, I think they call it. And I might, if I have enough, I might just have this sort of panel shape, slap some soundproofing on top of that. So yeah, the other thing I want to do, I want to make an inner skin that'll sort of bolt on the inside of this. We'll fill this cavity with it looks like roof insulation, like the Think Pink or the spun plastic bottles. And the reason why I want to do that is I want to mount a speaker to the inside panel and just have a plain old skin on top with the armrest here in the rear door card. And so yeah, so it'll look completely stock, but I'll have sort of like a 6x9 speaker in here. I need to speak to the upholsterer and or a sound shop about that. So we'll have the inner skin with the hardware mounted to it, and then the outer skin just to cover it up. Now I had these bolts, if you remember, they were stuck in here. They were the wrong bolts. Those are for the seatbelt brackets, and I wanted to keep these. So the option, I want to keep my options open with having a back seat in the car, even though I don't intend to. But yeah, I'm just keeping, I'm basically future-proofing this, so I don't have to cut this out and all of that. So I'll eventually come in and patch this up with some of the offcuts, but I want to get the major body panel sorted first. And that's pretty much where we are. Oh yes, and on the doors you'll see I've done the inside of the door. I still need to do, well, the inside of the outer shell. I still need to do the inside panel. Once we've got all these window brackets and handles and that sort of stuff in, before the door card goes on. and that's just too solid. You know, the door is still quite tinny. The outside is nice and solid. Now there is also a soundproofing panel. You can get a heat resistant soundproofing material that'll go on the top of the bonnet, and then there's actually a panel that fills this whole sort of, you'll see there's an indented shape. It covers this whole shape, which I'm itching to get. It's very expensive because obviously now my currency, if I buy this thing in pounds, it's whatever the cost is in pounds, it's times 20. That's why I say whatever. It doesn't matter what, it could be £1. It then for me becomes £20. So yeah, I need to think about it. It's very expensive, but it just completes the overall look of the vehicle. That stuff's all going to the machine to get washed. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Maybe if YouTube's adpocalypse can give me a break and I can earn some actual revenue, I can get these nice things. Unless someone wants to sponsor it for me. So yeah, yeah, I need to go and start finding this kind of foam because 2 reasons. On top of the soundproofing needs to be basically square foam pads, and then on top of here it'll follow the general shape on top of the soundproofing, and on the roof in these gaps. And that'll just add underpile for the carpet, and extra padding here will mean that the roof lining will sit completely flush. So we're getting there, guys. We are getting there. I'm sorry that the updates haven't been so regular, but I have literally just been busy with so much other stuff that I hardly ever really get to come look at this car at the moment. So the one interesting thing to note is that all the soundproofing, I think we used four or five boxes. So it's going to add roughly about 60 kilograms to the vehicle's total weight. Not really a problem. This car was never going to be a drag racer, so it's not really a concern to me. I know a lot of people are concerned that I'm adding unnecessary weight. They'll rob power from the engine, but the air conditioning that I plan to fit will take 10 horsepower out of the engine anyway. And with this soundproofing and stuff in, if I do decide to go that route and fit the air conditioning, it'll work that much more efficiently as well. So to me, the soundproofing is a win-win all round. It'll make the aircon more efficient, it'll make the car naturally cooler in summer anyway. Win-win. And yeah, guys, I'm going to do a bit of a tool roundup. Like I say, we were busy getting this stuff sorted. There was stuff going all over the place. I've already done a bit of a tool roundup. 90% of the stuff is here. It's just the odds and ends dotted all over the place while we were busy. But yeah, let me go upstairs now. We're going to edit and upload, and I will catch you guys next weekend, hopefully with another silver cabin update. Cheers for now, guys. Hi guys, thanks so much for watching. If you want to see more and be kept up to date, please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to my channel. With your help, we can get this project complete and move on to the next one. Bye for now.